So I shouldn't say our, David. It's not your homeland, is it? No. Okay. Oh, well. Certainly not Hilton's either. He's from
I don't
Kimberley.
like the Sharks. No.
Well, David, there's a lot of
good.
things. There's a lot of things that you like that I don't
are good.
like.
You
either.
just, as a Lion supporter, we.
Listen, I spent years here in the Highveld when the Sharks' predecessors called Natal used to play in the B section of the Currie Cup and lose against Northern Free State. So we're enjoying every moment we can, us people from the last outpost. But anyway, this feature is brought to you by the leader in short-term insurance, providing tailor-made solutions for most of South Africa's top 100 companies, Santam. Rest insured. David, I'm impressed with you. So you're on Twitter now.
I am on Twitter, but they won't let me use it at the firm. So I have to use it at my home email. So I'm updating tonight.
You know what we'll do then?
I've got people coming on.
We'll have to get hold of Mr. Sassoon and just explain to him that the new world is somewhat different to the old one. So people have to come and visit you in your office, do they?
Well, I thought I was going to send out a few messages today about the market, particularly things like Old Mutual. There were a couple of things I picked up, and it blocked me. It said, no social network sites. So.
You know what you can do? Next time, just email them to me, and I'll send them out. All share index down by 0.33% today, but it was a big improvement from around about 2 o'clock. We were looking pretty soggy, Dave.
I think, Alec, what I saw is, and in fact, I've had quite a few inquiries of investors coming in and trying to pick up the big ones. British American Tobacco, SAB Miller, all those big companies that have been hammered, I think, starting to attract a bit of attention. We saw that today. Sasfin was up, all the ones that I have mentioned. So I think heavyweights are starting to attract some bargain hunters at these levels, and it appeared to just take the market off its worst levels. But overall, the market was deeply in the red.
But what was interesting, to end it 0.33% down, the JSE was a lot better than most markets today. Germany 3%, France 2.5%. The US is looking very poor.
Well, they gave up whatever they made yesterday. They've already given up at the opening now.
And yet we're only down a few
look,
points.
we're getting good results. Alec, if you analyze the results coming through, they're not bad. We're not back at 1990. GE, General Electric, is trading now at 1991 levels. That's Jack Welch's
And General
company.
Motors?
Well, that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So I think if you look at the results, which you mentioned, Standard Bank's results, they're superb results in very, very difficult times.
We've got a nice interview coming up in a minute with Jacko Marie, so that should be quite insightful. Before that, we're going to be talking to Johan van Zyl. Let me ask you a question. When did you think that Sanlam's market cap would exceed Old Mutual's?
Yeah,
in fact, it's more than 10%
it is,
bigger today.
Yeah,
which means, for those who don't follow the terminology, Sanlam is worth more than Old Mutual is, even though Old Mutual is maybe 5 times the size. Now that tells you something.
I was looking at Old Mutual's market cap today. It's the size of Bidvest. In fact, I think just Bidvest is just slightly under.
Joffy going to make a bid?
for Old Mutual, I don't think he wants it.
Yeah, but I don't know, David.
No, you know what? I thought those results weren't bad yesterday. I think we got a lot of comfort. Today, what happened is a number of broker downgrades came, and we saw Old Mutual shares falling by 8% today, which was a huge hammering. And, I think maybe unwarranted. You heard what Koki said. There's a lot of research out today which is, putting the share value, even under these circumstances, at 3 times where the market's trading at. But there was nothing stopping the selling today. It was, once again, one of the worst features in the top 40, amongst the leading shares.
The gold price not doing a whole lot to give us some hope. $910.
It's probably also seasonal. I think that gold comes under pressure at these times of the year.
So watch out. It could go
and
lower.
It's also surprising because the euros come under pressure, the pounds come under pressure as interest rates have been lowered, the dollar's picking up, and that. I thought there would have been the flight to safety into gold. Surprised at its unusually poor performance.
David, I did a podcast today with Felicity. We're going to do one every boardroom talk, which I've been writing for 11 years. We're now coming up into the new future. So instead of writing, I'm doing it as a podcast.
Right.
And I had a look at Warren Buffett's annual report. And the quote that stays with me, and you'll hear it again in this program, I'm sure, is that he says that he feels like he's a hungry mosquito in a nudist camp. So many opportunities available. Isn't that lovely? Do you feel
Yeah.
like a hungry mosquito?
I look all the time, and you just want the bit of comfort now. You just want news to turn slightly, but there's some incredible opportunities out there, and I think as soon as sentiment changes, we keep feeling for the bottom, we can't feel it yet, but I think as soon as we get a feel that it's bottoming, I think these, you're going to find a lot of money flowing into the market.